Hello, hello, hello. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Oh, yeah, you can't hear me. Okay. Hopefully get a few people in this. Maybe I'll share the live stream. I'll create a post for it. Right now I've got one person in here. I don't know who's in here, but we will see. So, share this video with your friends, family, whoever you want to share it with. Just an interesting idea that I wanted to try out. I follow this channel on YouTube. It's called Tier Zoo. They make tier lists, and a lot of people make tier lists. So I've been kind of thinking about, just making tier list about ocean animals. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We got two people in here. Hello, hello. Let me go to the chat actually and see what you guys are saying. Oh, hello, Peyton. How's it going, Peyton? Well, hello. Hello, Peyton. Hello, hello, hello. It's going all right. All right. Thanks for joining. Whoa, screenception. Screenception. Okay, so let's just look up sea creature tier list. Let's see. Create a sea animals tier list. Create a marine life sea list. Marine life tier list maker. Here we go. Perfect, 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 perfect. This is what I was looking for. Let's see. Support the homies. Awesome. Thanks. I appreciate it. All right, so we're gonna make a marine life. I know it's late at night. There's probably nobody awake right now, but you guys will see this in the morning. But let's see. Well, let's get started. Okay, so let's think. What of these is F tier? So for those of you who don't know what tier list is, F tier is the lowest, which means it's the worst of the worst. D tier is a little better. C tier is a little better. The best is S tier. So basically, it's like a ranking system, and I'll give my explanations for why for each of these. So let's see. What do I think is F tier? In all honesty, let's see. We got a squid. We got a manta ray. We got a sea star. We got a sea urchin. We got a cuttlefish. We got an otter. We got looks like a sort of surgeon fish. We got a sea lion. We have an octopus, stingray. Looks like a green sea turtle. A crab. We got a moray eel. We have some type of coral. We have a manta shrimp, a dolphin, lionfish, clownfish, jellyfish, all this stuff. I can tell you right now that, in honesty, I think an F tier, we're definitely putting the seahorse in F tier. They are cute, they are adorable, but They simply are just who would want to be a seahorse in reality? Like they're cool, don't get me wrong, and like they're super like you know defensive, but who would actually want to be a seahorse? Because they're one of the least mobile fishes out there. If they ever need to run away from anything, they have almost no ability to do so. I don't know why I said run. I meant swim, but they have almost no ability to do so. So, of course, I'm going to put them in F tier. Just personal opinion, F tier for me because they can't move. They can't go move that fast. They're very restricted to small things in terms of food, and they get swept away by currents very easily if they don't hold on to things. So that's what I'm going to say for F tier. Now, what else could possibly be F tier? Well, honestly, I'm just going to go down. Let's just see what we got working with here. In all honesty, I'm putting the octopus A tier. It's not S tier because it's not completely good because it does get eaten by things like uh, dolphins and other things. Let's see. Peyton says Manta Ray is pretty low too, TBH. Manta Ray, honestly, for Manta Rays, I would put them at like I would probably put a Manta Ray at I'm gonna say C tier because they're not terrible because they are very large. So there is that going for them, but they do get caught in fishing nets a lot, and it's very sad. But large size does come at a cost sometimes. Um, but until they reach that size, they are pretty vulnerable, to my knowledge. Too big of a target without much attack options. Yeah, pretty much. Biased, rigged. No, this is not rigged. Yes, I am slightly biased towards cephalopods, but it is true they are pretty broken. Sea urchins, they're D tier. I'm saying D tier just because they have all these spines, which is a good defensive mechanism. They're better than a seahorse because at least I mean they have like they wreak havoc on places dominated by algae. They have so much. They could get so much nutrients from that. But as many of you know, um, sea otters right here actually love to eat urchins. I'm putting the sea otters at. I'm going to say B tier. They're not quite tier or S tier just because they simply lack the size and the food variability to do that. I'm going to turn these ads off because why not? So the sea otter is just going to be B tier because they don't have the weaponry. Well, they do have weaponry, but not the weaponry like a killer whale or a dolphin or a shark might have. They're just simply not large enough, unfortunately. But they do have the ability to eat the sea urchins. They're very, very useful at that. They also use tools to crack open things, so they're very good with that. And because of that, that's why they're in B tier. I'm going to say mid to high B tier probably for them. When it comes to clownfish, let's see, clownfish. I'm going to give them a C tier. C tier. Even though, so they're like a middle tier kind of fish because they do have that really good ability of not having damage from sea anemones, but just based on how untouchable they are, most, if not all, visitations should be S tier, especially orcas. I'm going to save a lot of the S tiers for last because I already know a lot of these on here are S tiers, in my opinion. But I'm going to try and wait to do those last. Bro, what? Nah. Peyton, what do you think that the clownfish should be? Well, what tier, what level do you think a clownfish should be? D tier? No, that ability is too good to miss. Too good to pass up. So, hmm, sea lions, I'm gonna put an A tier, and the main reason that I'm gonna put them in A tier is because they are very versatile in their diet. While I'm waiting for your bro, he barely has anything. Bro, okay, maybe sea lions aren't A tier. I'll give you that because they do get messed by whales and by sharks. I'll put them B tier. B tier. Put the pinniped there. So there's that. Jellyfish. Just a standard sea nettle jellyfish. We're gonna leave D tier. Sorry about that. That was my dryer. Just ignore that. So, hello, Miracle. Welcome to the stream. C tier for jellies. I don't know if I should put the C. I don't know if I should put the jelly C tier or D tier. In all honesty, probably gonna put it. We'll leave it D tier for now. D tier for now until I can figure out everything. I kind of just want to get everything on the board at this point, and then move it around as I see fit. So for now, we're going to leave it at D tier. They do have the stinging cells, which is nice, but they have no brain, so they cannot think or make logical decisions at all, which kind of limits them from basically going above C tier. They're almost untouchable. Not if you're a sea turtle. Sea turtles, I'm going to put at C tier. They're basically a middle class because lots of sea turtles can eat jellyfish, which is something that not a lot of things can do. And a lot of sea turtles are actually omnivorous. So, well, not all of them, but I'm not a sea turtle expert. Yeah, sea turtles have to be above them no matter what. So there's that. Killer whales, let's get this out of the way. Killer whales are obviously S tier. Dolphins, bottlenose dolphins, S tier. They are simply too intelligent to be anything lower. In a marine life setting, these are definitely some of the top tier builds. So killer whales obviously super intelligent, apex predator of the oceans. So obviously there's that. Bottlenose dolphins. Well, if I could do a low S tier, they would be lower than the killer whale because although the sea turtle experts are. Pause. That's funny. So we're gonna go with the next build. Next one. Okay, let's be honest. Humpback whales, they are a high tier, but they are not higher than the orca. They're A tier, and the reason why is because orcas have been known to gang up on humpback whales. Bottlenose is below orca, but it is not below A tier. Bottlenose dolphins are simply too intelligent to be put lower. So there's that. Pufferfish is definitely an S tier build. I was just scrolling up. You thought I was going to put them in D tier. No. Pufferfish is an S tier build. Pufferfish is S tier because it is so broken. Almost nothing can eat this without dying. It is not a C or D tier. No, 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 no. It is not C or D tier. This is an S tier build because nothing can eat this without dying. It can be. It's just, in my opinion, its defense stat is through the roof because of its venom. Which also brings me to another venomous build. Lionfish. Lionfish have got to be, in my opinion, A tier. They're not quite B tier. I mean, they're not quite S tier, but they are A tier because they have been able to successfully take over places they're not supposed to be in. Their spikes are poisonous. Yes, dolphins do use pufferfish to feel high. This is true. Their spikes are poisonous. Yes, lionfish spikes are venomous, and it's very they're not deadly, but they're definitely something. Sorry about that. They're definitely something you don't want to mess with. Um, so lionfish are A tier because of their defensive capabilities. They're not very like offensive, but they're pretty good at defending themselves just with their spines. They don't have to do a whole lot, um, and they've been able to successfully take over places that they're not supposed to be. However, there are things that eat lionfish. There are things that will eat lionfish, um, which is things like eels. Eels will actually eat lionfish. Eels are honestly potential S tier. Potential S tier. We're gonna leave it in A tier for now. But eels, they have a lot of cool abilities going on with them. They they have their like pharyngeal jaw that they have that like comes forward and grabs things and brings it back. It's really cool. It's not really a necessarily like a effective ability, but B tier. Um, okay, so let's be honest. Sea anemones are a boring build, so they're going to D tier. D tier. They have to be below the clownfish because clownfish literally use them for this for a home. Because of that, I hate to say it, corals, unfortunately, um, F tier. The main reason, the main reason that I'm putting corals at F tier is simply because they have it pretty easy. I mean, they. I wouldn't want to be a coral simply because they're colonial. If you are a single coral out there, there's no way you're really going to survive without like being consumed by something. Um, they're also not doing very well right now. Some of the others on this list are a little more adaptable. Unfortunately, corals are going through mass bleaching events, mass bleaching events as well, which is why they're not doing as well. Why they're lower tier. They're probably closer to D tier, but we'll talk about that later. Uh, what does that leave us? I'm believing this is a giant clam. I'm gonna leave it at C tier, and the reason why is because yes, it is a filter feeder. However, it's a large filter feeder that can definitely you got to either lower clowns or promote an enemy. Hmm. Clown. So I think you might be onto something because they kind of do help each other out. So I think I'm gonna move anemones up to C tier. I'm gonna also move corals to D tier. For now, what we have is this F tier. Um, but we probably need to add some more to F tier. But the giant clam is a filter feeder, and it definitely can hold its own defensively because it's just so large. Nothing's going to try to eat it. Nothing's going to try to mess with it. So there's that. Um, Mantis, honestly, I really want to put it at S tier, but I can't. It's A tier. I gotta say A tier. Andrew Carrigan. What about Blobfish? Um, Honestly, Blobfish probably close to. It's definitely a low tier build. It's not a high tier build. But if we were looking at the deep sea, maybe it would be a little higher because it is a fish. F tier. But mantis shrimp, A tier, and the reason why is because you cannot ignore the power that this little animal has. This thing has so much power in its little clubs that it uses to punch things. So powerful. Sea creatures flash. Sea creatures. Hey, YouTube, put this in my recommendations. Don't get mad at me. What? Agreed. I'm confused. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, uh, mantis shrimp are awesome. I'm not biased towards them. I just think they're cool. But I think they're A tier. They have such a good offensive like move. Like they can defend themselves if they need to. They could definitely break a finger even with their abilities. So what did I just do? No. Hold on. Hold on. Oh no 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 no. Okay, hold on, hold on. Okay, okay. We still have it all. We still have it. I am screaming. It's okay. We still have it. Okay. Anyways, back. Sorry about that. Back to this. Um. So let's see. Tiger sharks. Actually, that looks like a bull shark. If it's a bull shark, I'm putting it A tier. A tier. Potentially low S tier. Potentially a low S tier. Um, Bull sharks just the thing about bull sharks is they have the ability to go from fresh water to salt water and vice versa. So that's just like you can't ignore that. You just simply can't ignore that. Crabs. Well, I feel like it depends on the type of crab, but for a standard crab, I'm gonna say C tier. C tier, just because there's too much that they get eaten by. They get eaten by a lot of these other builds, but they do have more mobility than these. In all honesty, yeah, more mobility than these. So not these, but these lower ones. So they are able to move around more. Stingray is like a solid B tier. A stingray, I think you're all right. I think you're right. Stingrays are B tier, but if they're B tier, then hammerheads have to be either S tier or has to be S tier or B or A tier. And honestly, I think I'm going to put them S tier, and the only reason why is because their 360 head vision that they have is because it is just you can't ignore it, and their electroreception is perfect. They are perfect for dealing with stingrays. That is 100% certain. They're not high S tier, but they're lower S tier. So I'll say that. When we get to sea stars, sea stars. Mm, let's be honest. We're gonna put them in F tier. As much as I love sea stars, I have to put them in F tier probably because they simply are not mobile enough. It takes forever for them to actually consume things. They can move; it just takes quite some time to do so. Um, but a basic starfish is just simply very like the only thing they really I'll give them a buff and put them in D tier because of one thing: their regenerative abilities. They're able to regenerate limbs and regenerate an entire limbs from nothing. So I will give that. Seals. Um, Seals I feel like are lower than sea lions, mainly because they're targeted a lot by sharks. Maybe they are, but I feel like sea lions have more mobility on land than seals do. Sea lions are a lot more mobile on land, uh, so they can kind of be going back and forth between the two a lot more. But seals, they're still good predators, but they're not as high as some of these other builds. So we are left now with the Tang. It is not F tier. Mm, it might just be F tier actually, because there's not a whole lot going on for it. Unfortunately, they are grazers, but they have no. Their main form of defense is their venomous spine that they have. So they do have that going for them. But other than that, there's not a whole lot going for them in terms of that. So let's see. Got cuttlefish. Now we have cuttlefish and squid. So these two I feel like are very close in relation to each other. Um, Honestly, I'm gonna put squid at B tier and cuttlefish at A tier because mainly because cuttlefish I feel like have a little more intelligence than a squid. So squid gets eaten by a lot of things, and that's why I don't want to put it any higher than B tier. But depending on the squid species, so not sure. But this is what we got so far. This is our this is our marine life sea tier list that we've kind of created. Um, we're gonna see. Let's see. I like I like what I'm seeing. How is squid above seals? This is actually a good point. Why are squids above seals? Um, so sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I can see the chat. This is actually yeah, that's a good point though. I'll move squids down, but you know what? I think I'm going to. I think I'll move. mm, We'll move seals will be B tier for now. Uh, okay. So squids can be that. Cuttlefish don't have to be that. We'll we'll do it like that because they're really only one against a squid because the octopus is probably the most intelligent. So octopus should be A tier. Um, but S tier, yes, I'm happy with this. What do you guys think? If you guys are watching this the day after or many days after, because this will be uploaded, if you guys are watching this, comment what you think about this tier list down below. I think I'm going to make another one. Let's look up what other kinds of tier lists do they have? Tier maker. Let's try fish tier list. Puffer's like a B tier. B tier. Okay, these. I probably didn't even need to look up tier list. I probably just needed to look up. Let's just look up fish. Not fish tier list. Let's just look up fish. Fish on. Okay. Still, fish is fish men tier list. We're not doing Fishmon. We aren't doing Fishmon. Fish. What is this? Is this an ad? I don't need an ad. Don't need an ad. I'm already on your website. That should be good enough. Anyways. Deep sea. Yeah, yo. Deep sea. That's a good idea. Deep sea. Oh my goodness. This computer is annoying. Dude, yes we do. Actually, Peyton, if you're not busy, do you want to battle on Pokemon after this? I completely messed that up. Deep sea. Okay, bet. Sweet. Deep sea. Okay, I'm starting to get concerned at some of these. Ultimate deep sea creature tier list. Let's do this. Let's do this one. And then I'm going to end the stream after we do this one. Hopefully we'll make this a quicker one. Let's see. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. I like it. So, I almost said TikTok reference. I forgot you guys are my subscribers. I can act myself around my subscribers. So, okay. Well, I think we got to be honest. These spider crabs. I don't know. These are sea cucumbers. What is? That's probably a siphonophore. Siphonophores, they're huge, but they don't do much. F tier. Hello, welcome to the stream. Coelacanths, honestly, I'm gonna say B tier because they were able to avoid, like, What the heck? Did not click on Universal Orlando. Oh, this ad's like just hidden. We love that. Basking Shark is not deep sea, so it's D tier because it's kind of lame. Because I love it's a cool design, but it's not like able to really defend itself. So that's why it's going there. Goblin Shark. In terms of deep sea animals, I think it is A tier. It's just it's large for a deep sea animal. Oarfish, D tier. Simply because while they are large, that doesn't mean anything because they are not able to defend themselves in a way. They're not the best of swimmers. They swim through undulating themselves, but not the best swimmers. Hagfish, let's be honest, guys. Hagfish is S tier because because one, they're scavengers, which means that they anytime a whale falls, anytime a fall happens, they are right there to eat it always. If anything tries to even consume these things, like they will basically cause the animal to suffocate just because of the amount of slimes they have. Hagfish is definitely S tier. Isopods, giant isopods. I'm putting B tier. B tier. They're not the best, but they're not the worst. I don't know a whole lot about isopods. Spider crabs. I'm gonna go with B tier because no, C tier because they are like a food source for human beings. So because of that, that kind of lowers their level in the tier list. Frilled sharks, B tier. Gulper eels, A tier. Gulper eels are A tier just because of how much they can eat. Anglerfish, B tier. B tier. They have pretty solid abilities. I like them. I'm not really sure what this is, so I'm putting it in F tier. I'm not really sure what this is either. Therefore, it is F tier. Actually, we'll just leave that out, and we'll leave this one out. This is a sea elephant, or I think a pteropod, actually. This is going to go F tier. They don't have much going on for them. The barrel eye, this fish, C tier. It's pretty cool abilities, but at the same time, it's nothing too special. It's just cool looking. I mean, it is a special fish, and I think it's really cool looking, but they're not like a huge predator or anything like that. It's just, yeah, not much to really be said about that. Vampire squid. As much as I love my cephalopods, D tier. They have good like defensive like abilities like ink and stuff like that, but they don't really consume that much. Like they're not predator necessarily. Longfin squids. Not a lot's known about them, so because of that, I can't place them very high because not a lot known about them. How do they feed and all that? So we're gonna put them C tier, just a solid middle spot. Chimeras, we'll put them in B tier because they are a larger fish in the deep, and because of that, I feel like that earns them a higher spot on the list. This is a sea cucumber. Let's put them D tier. They're not nothing super special. These octopus, the flapjack octopus, we'll do C tier. And I believe this is a Atolla Jellyfish, which I will place actually at A tier because of its cool ability to um, alarm things to its presence with its like bioluminescent abilities. Now let's take a good look. I think this is a pretty solid tier list, if I do say so myself. It doesn't there sometimes there's just simply one thing that can be S tier, and in this case it's the hagfish. Hagfish have simply earned that high spot because of their slime. Literally pretty much because of the slime. But yeah. Anyways, well, thank you guys for watching this. And those of you watching tomorrow, I hope you enjoy watching the video. Feel free to comment down below if you like this video. Thank you guys again for 5,000 subscribers. I'll make some more videos about that uh, coming soon. But for now, I wanted to just make this video. I was trying to think of how to make this video the best way I could. I've been wanting to make a tier list sort of video like this for a while, but I just never figured out how to do it. So here we are. Anyways, that's enough on my part. Uh, I will be posting videos over time. I have been really busy, so bear with me. I did just move into a new place, so things are still a little new around here. But thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great night.